This is going to be a rather strange incident that I'm going to share with you, which you may not believe, but it actually happened. And anyway, as always, whatever stories I share with you of my clients, I've taken permission from them. Just a small little, personal announcement is if you see me, my voice croaking or I look like, sickly, it is because 19 days I've not eaten food. I'm doing this prolonged fast. So energy levels are a little low. Watch this video at 1.5x speed, and I'm pretty sure you'll get the gist of it. So let's start by telling you the details which I can share. So this lady booked a session. It's not every day that a lady books a session with me. It's normally guys. So she booked a session and she said, I would like to take your guidance. And I let her know in advance that my coaching style is a little bit, rough and tough. It is more like a tough love. So I'm not going to give you anything that is soft. She said, I've been following your channel for 5 years. I know how you are, and I prefer to receive that kind of an answer. So I said, fine. She booked a session. And the summary of the whole thing is, this is a lady who is single. She is in her 40s. And I'll tell you why I'm giving you this personal bit. And she is the only daughter of her mother and father. Her parents are kind of like, in the twilight of their lives, and their health has not been very strong. So she is the sole breadwinner of the family. She had worked in Dubai, and she earned a good package. But then when her mother and father individually, they got hospitalized. So then she came back on emergency, but then she realized she could not go back because they were pretty serious and she wanted to be with them. So she resigned. So it had been around a couple of years that she was with her parents. But now the problem in India is the package is too low and you cannot sustain and survive, especially when you have one person plus your parents to take care of. So she applied in Dubai, and apparently her previous employer, who was very happy with her, she asked him if you know any references or any place to work. The employer referred her name to one of his close friends, and they were pretty happy with her after taking an interview, checking her resume, and they said, I think you are a perfect fit for the job. So she got a position which is like being the secretary to the CEO. Okay, pretty high level. And the package was what she was earning in India. It's almost like 5x. Just imagine, let that sink in. Whatever you're earning in India, 5x it is in Dubai. So now this is where she got confused, because remember, money is money end of the day. And if you're getting paid 5 times more, just imagine what you earn in 1 month. It's like you're literally earning a 6-month salary per month. And this would solve all her personal problems, professional problems. She would be able to take care of her parents. She would be able to take care of her life, achieve her dreams. And remember, 40, even though from a perspective of someone who's young, might say 40 is, midlife crisis or you're old. She was still young. She wanted to travel the world. She wanted to buy things for herself, lead a good life, and, own some property, invest for a future. So she was left in a very difficult position. Like, what do I do? Now, the reason why the decision was hard is because, like I told you, her mother and father were sick. And if she would leave her parents and go to Dubai, obviously she can't take a holiday and come back and, spend time with the parents. Or if the parents are sick, she can't spend more than 1 to 2 days. And she didn't want to give up a stable job that she had in India, which she was working for as a regional, support. She didn't want to lose that, because even getting a job in India is highly competitive. So what would she do? So that is where she decided to take my guidance. Now, here's a funny thing. I asked her, did you speak to anyone? She said, I had booked sessions with a couple of other people, and all of them gave me one particular advice. She said, I don't want to tell you what it is because I don't want it to influence you, but they gave me a piece of advice, but I want to know your unique piece of advice without sharing what they said. I said, fine. So I asked her the basic details. Are they giving you transportation? Are they giving you parking? Are they giving you petrol? Are they giving you accommodation? Are they giving you overtime? I asked her all these questions. And are they giving you a severance package? Are they giving you, if things don't work out, what is the cancellation process? And She was a little taken aback because she said, nobody asked me these questions. I said, well, I've lived in Dubai for 40 years. I know how important these questions are. And I also asked her, like, is there a competitive clause? What is written on the labor contract? What is written in the, letterhead? Are you allowed to change jobs? Are you allowed to switch? If things don't work out, are you supposed to reimburse them for the ticket money, the visa money, the medical, all the documentation? So she was pretty surprised that I asked her all these questions. In fact, some of them she didn't even have an answer to. And I told her, I think you need to find out and let me know. So we took a break for like 2-3 days because she didn't have all the answers which I asked for. And finally, she got back to me, and these were the answers. There's no accommodation, there is no transportation. She has to get her own car, no petrol, no parking. If there are any emergency assignments, she'll have to work 6 days a week, sometimes maybe even 7 days. The beck and call of the company. And they didn't have a non-competitive clause. They had a difference between the labor contract and the salary certificate. And I forgot to mention this also. She didn't have a degree. Okay, so they couldn't put a managerial position in her passport, and that also impacts you when you travel. And the designation you'll be given, you'll not be given a managerial, designation in your visa. You'll be given as an executive, which is lower. So there are lower perks. And if they cancel your visa, then you'll have more problems. So after all that, I told her, okay, now given the data that you didn't know and the information I asked you to get, this is what you're not considering. Okay, you're getting 5 times more the salary. Do you know that you'll have to spend money for getting an accommodation, which will literally eat up maybe 30 to 40% of your income? Then getting a car will eat into your income. Petrol will eat into your income. Salik and parking charges are way too high. It is even more than the petrol that you put, even more than sometimes the money you'll have to pay for the car. Sometimes it goes so high. And what if they ask you to work 6 days a week, 7 days a week? What if they tell you you have to pick up the call at 9 in the night, so you don't have a personal life? What if they tell you, no, you have to travel with us to Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, because they had a lot of traveling to do with the CEO, and he refuses to give you, let's say, compensation for that. What if you get sick? Who's going to pay for all that? Yeah, they'll say insurance, but insurance is very limited. So I told her, then if you actually calculate this whole thing, you're not left with 5 times the salary. It's a little bit less, but still more than India. But then again, if your mother and father fall sick, I said, there's no way in the world you're going to be in a frame of mind to work. You'd want to come back to your mother and father. What if their health, they land up in the ICU and they might expire at any point of time? Maybe you'll have to stay 15 days, maybe 1 month. You think they have just given you a visa, a new job, and they'll allow you to not be at work for 15 days to a month? I don't think so, I told her. They're going to say, listen, we can give you for 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, not 1 month. I told her, look, out of my evaluation of your character, you don't have a boyfriend, you don't have a husband, you don't have kids. So your entire world, your heart is your mother and father. It is, and you can't replace your mother and father. And once if they're dead, if they die, your world will be void and empty because you're single. You'll have no friend. You'll miss the days that your mother and father, and you will kick yourself that you went to choose money over them. I said, maybe tomorrow, just your mother has 1 hour to live and she wants you. If you are with her, you can go to the hospital. But if you are there in Dubai and she has only 1 hour, you come back and she's no longer there, you'll kill yourself. You'll never forgive yourself. And I said, the very reason why, I said, I can challenge you on this. You want to stay with your mother and father. And she was like, how did you figure that part out? I said, very simple, because they offered you 5 times the salary and you're still questioning, should I go there or be with my parents? That means your parents, your mother and father, that bond is stronger than 5 times the income. The 5 times income is tempting because it'll give you your dreams, a good life. But, it cannot replace your mother and father. And I also told her this. My wife and I, if you've followed my channel, you know this. My wife, I, and the baby were supposed to meet my wife's mother and father, my in-laws. And we had planned for December. Okay, we will go 1 week before Christmas to spend. They don't celebrate Christmas, but they have their Buddhist festival and New Year, and then into January we will take 2 weeks holiday. So we had planned everything, all excited for the date. Just, I think, 1 week left. Just 1 week or 2 weeks approximately. One day the call came I was sitting in my room and suddenly I heard my wife crying and screaming. And I went out. I said, "What happened? Like, is everything okay?" Because I take it cool, calm, composed. And she was like crying. I said, "Tell me what happened. Relax." She told me that her father passed away. And it was all of a sudden, total shocker. He was okay and he just died. What had happened is he got a cardiac arrest when working in the field in the heat, started to complain of chest pain. They told him, go home and sleep. He slept and never woke up. And to this date, my wifey always says, if only I had spent more time with my father, if only I told him how much I love him, if only I had not, taken my daughter and just been with him. She's saying, I'll never get to say what I wanted to say, never get to spend the time. And there is not a day that goes by that she regrets that she couldn't have those conversations with him, that she couldn't spend those moments with him. In fact, he liked barbecue, which they used to cook, Thai barbecue. He used to love cooking over the fire. Finished. They never have it. Even her mother, who is now a widow, she also says, we used to always work. We never spend time together. And they regret it so very much. So I'm not trying to be an emotional fool here, but, there are people for whom money is extremely important, which is not wrong. That is your values. Like for me, my work is very, very important. I don't go emotional on this. Yes, I love my wife. Yes, I love my kid, but I'm the only breadwinner. I can't be emotional. There are so many people, Indians. Father works in Saudi, husband works in Saudi, wife works in, let's say, Kuwait, child is in India, and they get to see the child once in 2 years or once in 3 years. Child is staying with their grandparents. It's not that they want to do it, but how do they survive if they don't work? So there are cases where, people have to choose money because they have to save for the kids' future, their future. But in her case, she had her own house, just that she didn't have too much money. You could say to live a great life. She was living average. But I told her, the only plus point is you have your mother, you have your father, you have your own house, you don't have to travel much, you're working from home, and those are the benefits. Only sad thing is you're earning very less. I told her, what I feel is, given that you're an emotional person, you have nobody, no boyfriend, no husband, just your mother and father. They are your world. Don't leave them. That is what I would say. Because even if you get 5 times the income, you're not going to be happy. And she was really touched by what I said. I'm not trying to praise my own tail. I'm just telling what she told me. She said, nobody told me this. None of the coaches, none of the consultants all said, make hay when the sun shines. It's their time to make money. You can support them, give them their dreams, give them a good life. But you're the only one who said, focus on things that money cannot buy. She thanked me for it. She was very grateful. She said, I never expected you, Loy, a guy with tattoos and who's hardcore and all that, to tell me this. I told her, look, my job is to evaluate you, to be in your shoes, to empathize with you and tell you what really resonates with you. And because I was able to walk in your shoes and think like you, I knew what was important to you. It's just that you needed to hear it from someone. And so she finally made up her mind. I don't know if she'll change in the future, which I doubt, but this is what she has finally agreed to. The point and purpose of me sharing this story with you is to tell you, you have to be very clear with your values. What do you value more? Do you value God? Do you value money? Do you value family? Do you value yourself? And don't try to bullshit yourself. No, God is most important. I'll give my life to God. That's all bullshit. That's all totally crap. So many people say God is most important, family is most important, but they spend 99.99% in the office or with their colleagues or with themselves doing what they love. It's like saying health is most important, but then you're smoking, drinking, not exercising. So your actions speak louder than words. It feels good to hear God is most important, health is most important, peace of mind is important, but then your actions, they don't sync in harmony with what you say. So it's very important to have a talk with yourself and be frank. There's nothing wrong in saying money is most important. Nothing wrong in saying I value myself over my family, over my mother and father, or God comes third most important. At least you're honest, and that honesty will help you grow. Otherwise, you're just fooling yourself and living double standards. I hope this video inspired you to spend time to know who you are. Ask yourself those hard-hitting questions and make the right choices. Because remember, end of the day, there's only one life, just one. And if you make the wrong decisions, some decisions are irreversible. And as time goes by, remember, you can't look back and say, I'm going to change it now. You can only look back and say, oh, how I wish I'd made the right choice. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd like to read what they are. And feel free to share your inputs as well. You guys take care. This is me signing off.